Bradley Martyn's Raw Talk. He has Lilly Phillips on.
Hello, my name's Lilly.
That's
she
Lilly.
slept with somehow. She fell asleep so many times in a day.
First of 100. Did she do 1,000? Lilly
Which the
Phillips
numbers
did
don't
100.
make sense, man. Like the mathematics.
It's not adding up.
I don't think of mine as detrimental. I'm doing charity work out here.
What
She's ahead of the curve is what she is. We want this. Even the red pill guys want this. Lilly Phillips is a perfect creation.
Nice. Chill vibes in the studio.
Nice.
Did you see my obvious
I
globe?
did see it earlier.
He even shopped it. He photoshopped it.
It did.
Oh, I
It's
didn't
like every other ball-tarred picture.
Now there's a curvature.
There's a curve on the earth now.
But see, this is photoshopped, and this is agenda-driven, and this is what's the word I'm looking for?
Soy. It's very soy.
No, it's very propaganda.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Oh. Welcome to Punchie TV.
Welcome to Punchie TV with your hosts.
Welcome to Punchie TV. I am Punchie with your host, Punchie, from JesseLeePeterson.com show. Oh, Joel Friday, the host of the... What am I saying about you? The American Anchor Baby. The host of the American Anchor Baby show. James Hake, a host of the Hake Report. Welcome to Punchie TV. Punchie.
Welcome to Punchie TV. We are back with a brand new episode. We are here again. This episode 35, by the way, in case you guys didn't know, this is our 35th episode. We've been going for a little while now. Probably about, 4 months?
It's more than half a year,
4?
right? 35 divided by 4 and a third? Something like that?
Can't do no math, but we've been going.
But we've known each other for how long? They say that for relationships, don't they? Like, yeah, we've been married for
That's a good point.
4 years, but we know each other. Like,
Is that
that's like the age thing, maybe. I'm 28, but I'm gonna be 29.
Is that 8 months? 35.
That's how they do it in relationships too. Wow, 8 months.
52.
But I also realized that what they do in relationships where it kind of goes too far is when it's a long period of time, like 8 months, but they put in weeks
Oh,
to make up.
Yeah,
Like a toddler.
It's been 32 weeks.
Oh, man.
This
Like
is our
an infant.
8-month anniversary, allegedly.
Before we get started, I have these like silly little clips I want to play first. Just a little warm up, and then we'll get into the real stuff, the real work that we have here. But I was on Instagram and I came across these couple of videos, and they just reminded me of me when I was in school.
It's 7 o'clock here. It's 7 o'clock here. It's 7 o'clock.
First, really though, why does he say it's a 7?
It's 7.
O'clock.
She's not
She's
doing
not
it
getting
either.
it. No, it's just she's getting mad at him, like frustrated, like.
1 orange, 2 apples, and 3 bananas. 1 orange, 2 apples,
He's like really foreign for some reason. He's too young to be. He's too young in 2025 to be Fabi. There's something funny about that. Like it's so kolaka, and she's kind of doing better.
I know, but that's the thing. She thought that she was like cooking it up, and she ain't doing it.
She's like, you
either.
stupid Chinese person, speak English.
I could barely understand her. Like, I didn't even know that they spoke English at all.
The little Johnny has 3 apples, and I take 1 away. How many does he have left?
Oh my gosh.
Josh, go get my bill. If little Johnny has 3 apples,
That's just pretty obvious. You have to be like, because you know when you feel the pressure and everybody's yelling at you, you can't think straight. So even though it's plainly obvious, it's almost like you can't help but think. But I was pretty bad when I was young too that way because my mind I would just clock out, so I couldn't just like focus on anything.
Yeah.
So as soon as like I would try to get it, just wasn't. School just wasn't. I don't know how I made it, but that was pretty bad. There was only 4 apples there. You took away 1 apple, it was only 3.
No, it was 3 apples. She took away 1.
You are really dumb, for real.
That's traumatizing.
It's the thing about Japanese too. Something about the Asian languages. They add when they're like ice cream would be ice cream.
Yeah,
they add that our side where our words end. Yeah. They add like another
syllable.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I realized that when they speak English or their language is very sharp, like it's very like so when they use English, it almost feels offensive.
Yeah, it's funny the different cultures that what they can't like Indians like th the dirty.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it. I was always really good at that in school though. Languages that came fast to me. That came super fast to me. Languages. Yeah, my issue was skipping or something.
What do you mean?
Skipping class more than
like slacking off because it's too boring and easy.
It was easy for you, school?
It was pretty easy for me.
Yeah. I think I got a 3.0 one time in 6th grade, and we like celebrated because I finally did it.
Wow, in 6th grade. Dang.
That was it. But anyway, do you think that this red pill thing is working? So that's my question first, but don't answer it yet. Okay, till after I get these clips. There's this girl named Andra Berghoff on YouTube. Andra goes on a little rant about red pill people, and I thought it was kind of interesting. I want to see what you guys think, and the audience, what you guys think about what Andra had to say about the effects the red pill community has had on society.
What is going on with the way men are talking to women these days?
Oh, it's the red pill content, and it's now so officially widespread and unavoidable that whilst it was originally aimed at people in like their 20s and high school, middle school years, it's reached people in their 30s and 40s, and I want to talk about it today because I've started to notice it too. Although in fairness, it really started to pick up and gain traction around like 10 years ago, so males in their 20s are now in their 30s and approaching their 40s, and this is how you ruin entire generations and spans of males and dating for everyone. And if you're not familiar with red pill content, it's a lot of things now, but originally started as like male, like gym bro influencers trying to like teach beta males how to get women, but they would teach them all the wrong things so that they never actually got women and they would be continually reliant on their channels and they made money forever. But a huge problem with that, besides the fact that men are literally just keeping each other down, is that women also have to deal with the outcomes of this because it's teaching them to treat women like garbage, and apparently that's how you get girls, which obviously never works. And it became so prevalent that I literally gave up on dating a few years ago because it was so irritating to deal with such horrible little men.
If she talked less, she'd be cute. I kind of get what she's saying. She's overstating her case about so-called red pill, which is interesting to me because I didn't know that it had anything. I thought that red pill just meant you realize the truth about it, all these different things, and not that it wasn't just about men and women. Yeah. But she's of course been unbalanced because she's not talking about how bad feminism is and how messed up society is from that. And this is a reaction to that. Yeah. And it's kind of an overreaction, and it's still worldly and into like the selfishness. But they do, of course, get with women, and then they just use them and try to protect themselves from being used by the women. Yeah. But they're not really protecting themselves. And I can understand her frustration.
Yeah. Do you think that the red pill thing is working? Like it's working? Like it's effective?
No. But they have a lot of good points because, of course, like a lot of stuff that they're saying is true. But their approach is still wrong. It's still like, worldly, like I said. It's about self and selfishness.
Like you're saying like solving a worldly problem with another worldly problem.
With another worldly solution, and you're
like
you're not getting away from the selfishness of life. And that's the real root issue, you know?
Yeah, it's still about self, even though it's dressed as like the solution.
Yeah, just because it's not simping for the women, it's still putting the women at a center of sorts.
Yeah, in some kind of way. Interesting.
Right, they control the frame. No, I mean, you're touching on an important confusion that is going on with all this. When you say red pill, when you say those things, because it's like, what does that even mean now?
Yeah.
What is that? What counts as that? It's been some years now with this content going mainstream in a sense, and there's all sorts of players with all sorts of different motivations. So when I hear James center the conversation about self and not self, you start with, it's like, wow, we got to start getting, isn't that about getting rid of the chaff or whatever? And the chaff is all this still focused on the woman.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's like there's this umbrella term now, red pill, and now everybody's just getting in there.
Yeah.
It's like, what does that all mean anymore? Yeah. We're still now fixated on words.
Yeah, so you guys think that, because you're saying that originally that red pill was, no, maybe you said it, but red pill was the beginning of just people recognizing truth, right?
I think James said that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I first heard of the red pill around the time that Trump came along. Yeah. I heard about the alt-right, the people who were into not demonizing whites and maybe even being kind of pro-white, and feminism is wrong, and all these different things are wrong, and they even talk about red pill about the Jews,
right?
Which I of course disavow, for the sake of the channel.
So you see, it's evolved.
So it's but I also saw Jesse on the Fallen State interviewed Cassie J, a former feminist who made a documentary called The Red Pill Movie, and she was going to expose the men's rights activist movement, which has been around for quite some time, kind of fighting against the feminist thing. But it was also, they wanted equality. They wanted to put baby changing tables in the men's restrooms too, because there are single fathers too. So they're kind of like, it's like, man.
Oh, jeez.
But she talked to a bunch of men's rights activists and found out that men are actually really treated really badly in the courts, in domestic violence situations, all kinds of stuff.
That's interesting. And that makes sense, though, because it's the same thing to me, like as like Christianity, to where like it starts as one thing, but then people get involved. And it's just like a people thing.
True.
Like, and I mean, obviously, it's nice to remember what the red pill was about. And it was about just waking up to the lies.
Yeah.
And it can stay that, but obviously people distort it, and then now we attached people's actions to like the positive message, which was waking up.
Yeah.
So, but I think that back to what the video is, I think that what she's saying is absolutely true. Like, of course she's being one-sided, but that's just her focus in this video.
Right.
But she's absolutely saying the truth. And there obviously with some judgment in there, sure, but she's saying the truth. And I do, I've criticized the red pill thing, and I agree exactly what you're saying, and both of you guys said about the red pill thing, and like how it's just like a distorted thing. It's like a worldly solution. But I do feel that there's purpose to it. Like I do feel like it's not totally useless. I do feel like criticisms of it are valid, because when you go about doing things, you want to make sure you're doing them properly. So those criticisms should be there, right? But I do think that it has purpose, because we've come to a place in society where like we've been like men, women all together have been like influenced by this like fluff of feminism or feminine ways, or emotional society, or over sexualized. And here comes this like false idea, but yet what it's done is kind of get people to second think the other stuff.
Yeah.
So it got men to wake up, but yet just now they're waking up and also on the wrong side.
Still hating.
Yeah, still hating, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a good point. Like it's still, they're not solving the problem of anger or the problem of hate, but at least they're waking up to something is off here. Something is wrong. So I do find that there's purpose.
Yep.
And maybe this is just a step forward to what is better. But she has the right to criticize it, and I agree with those. It should be criticized because it's not perfect, the red pill thing. So
it's kind of like a lot of people who agree with us, who listen to us, are probably red pillars or MGTOW. There's a few MGTOW people, men going their own way, who just, the only use they have for women is just to use them briefly, if at all, but generally just stay away and live their own life and not even, just kind of anti-marriage people.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people are like, they're right about a lot of stuff, and they can find the truth maybe more quickly than this girl because she's perhaps blue-pilled, brainwashed by the feminism thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's something that is not there's something I don't think you're seeing about this woman in that, because I know you a little bit, and I know you're making this point that makes so much sense to me about the red pill community. This what I would call my show nitpicking, but it's for the truth here, because I know you a bit. Like I know where you're coming from, that they don't have love. Essentially, they don't really have love. They don't really love the women. But when this woman is saying, these guys, dating is impossible. You know, that's another vague term. Like when she says red pill. We don't even know what she means by that. True. She's mad about something she saw, and we don't know exactly what. She's being very unclear. And then she gets to, it's so terrible to date. What is it terrible? Very vague. But this woman, you see, understand the type of man that's been around before this red pill is the man that we all know. We can maybe somewhat relate. Feelings. The biggest promposal ever. Yeah. Romance. Anyways, you get it. Mm-hmm. She wants that back. You understand?
Yeah.
When she's mad at the guy, why are you into Andrew Tate? She wants that guy back.
Yeah.
That guy that she could control. So she doesn't get what you get. So I guess I'm
nitpicking
right there.
That.
But I'm like, who you allying with, bro?
I know.
Like you don't know what you're doing.
Because
you don't know.
There's a story. My direction of it was breaking down red pill. So when I pulled this clip, it was about red pill. It wasn't directed to like, okay, let's pull apart her argument, because what you're saying is absolutely true, and I agree. And even as I watched it, I mean, it's coming from a judgmental place, like she's fed up or tired, and she also on her YouTube profile had a rainbow flag in her bio.
Of course. And
I don't know, we don't make any claims, but she has a rainbow flag.
She's an ally.
So
I mean, I guess you guys mentioned it. You guys said she was being not very balanced.
But that's not wrong on what you're saying. That's true. But I also think that what she's saying is also very truthful, because I've obviously been a person who was a part of the red pill thing. Behavioral wise, I've seen within myself, like, oh shoot, I'm kind of being red pill type of thing, right?
For real?
Right, like
that's so weird. I don't even see you like that.
Like alpha male,
like,
but like
just
at one point,
in the sense of like, because I've met some of these guys, like,
yeah,
but in the sense of just like, I don't know how to put it. Like I don't even see you using their words. Like that's just another one of these hypergamous sluts. I'll just get a number, bro. It's a numbers game. Blah blah blah. Like, I don't even see you talking.
I never did like that.
Okay,
but I mainly mean this is like the chest puffed out, thinking I know it, all high horse type of energy. That's how I see it. Yeah, like well.
The guy she wants back, the guy that Andrew Tate and these red pill people took away from her, is that beta male. Understand? And it's still a beta male if you're mad in Andrew Tate. But I'm just saying, if you want that back, you don't get it. You don't understand at all.
Yeah, you're not getting it.
It's not about what's right. It's about
if she doesn't see it at all, why do you think that she's able to speak on something that seems to be just true?
Well, because she's right about what she's saying about them. About them. She's right about that.
Because people don't really think, men and women really don't think for themselves. So she's criticizing guys not thinking for themselves. Meanwhile, she's not thinking for herself.
I see. It's just
unbalanced.
Judgment.
Yeah, you guys were saying it.
Yeah. Okay, that was a sidebar. But back to the red pill thing. Did you say if you thought the red pill thing is effective?
I don't think it's working. I don't know. I don't think it's like effective. Again, another vague thing. It's like, is red pill working? Like, I guess we know, right? Is it working to let men handle women better?
Or waking men up a little, or whatever.
In some respects. I mean, but no, I don't think it's working. Because the vast majority, when you look at, in my mind, to give an honest answer on this, I look at like my impression on how the vast majority of the populace into this, how they kind of think. And in my opinion, they haven't learned much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a wrong way of judging the people saying those things, but they even if the guys saying it are trying to give them good advice, they're latching on to these women.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just, you know, they're young. They're young and they don't get it either in that sense.
True. As I recall in the Bible, Jesus divided the Pharisees and Sadducees because the Pharisees and Sadducees most of them hated him, I think, and they tried to catch him in different things. But he said something that he agreed with the Pharisees about there is resurrection from the dead, something like that, and the Sadducees believed there was no resurrection from the dead.
Yeah.
And so he got the Pharisees all proud at one point because he saw there is resurrection from the dead.
Oh yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Did they already hate him?
Yeah, they.
That's so funny.
You know, that's
Andrew Tate thinks I'm right. I'm just saying.
But that's such a good point because I think that what Jesus did was the honest thing that is normal to do. But it's so easy because, like, for example, he just grabbed at a truth that was being told from whoever told it,
right.
And that's how it should. But when just regular people go about it, we tend to blanket judge and can't.
Oh, that group is right.
Yeah, that group. Yeah, like red pillars or blue pillars or whatever. But it doesn't mean that blue pillars can't say something true. Doesn't mean red pillars can't say something true. But it's still the anger thing from anybody that is not able to pull and just accept what is true and take what you need type of thing. So I feel like I think that's the
true divider.
Happening. Yeah, that's what keeps happening to these groups. Yeah.
I feel like that girl who was complaining about the red pillars, and what is red pill, but women are evil and they'll use you, and so either use them before they use you or just know that and proceed appropriately. She's probably young enough that she didn't know anybody before red pill.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that.
Like, she didn't know.
Right. She's like, I've been so affected by red pill.
Blaming this when in reality it's just evil human nature. She's an evil, judgmental person, and everybody, red pill or male feminist, she's gonna end up hating.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's interesting though too because you got to think of it like this. When I look at the red pillars, it's like this. I have my criticisms about it for sure about the red pill, but like you got to think about before there were people even coming up being misogynist in the wrong way, there were men not saying anything. So it's like, what do we like? Because then because like the ladies are mad. The point I'm trying to make is the ladies are disappointed now that the men are being mean. But before it was like, well, they were walking all over the men. The men they got their way. So now it almost feels like wait, I no longer get my way type of argument, and now they're barking back at me, even if it's fire with fire, but I don't like it. That's what a lot of these like ladies who approach the red pill thing are coming from. It's not like in this humble way. It's like, well, they're just not being it right. It's more like, no, I don't like this.
Exactly.
And that's the point you're trying to make. Okay, I see.
1,000,000%.
I see. Well, because of that, I have another clip. Because of that is where you possibly get somebody like this. This is from Bradley Martyn. You know Bradley Martyn? He's a workout guy. Yeah, strong guy.
Yeah. I might know him if I saw him.
He's still your mother effing set.
Yeah.
It might be the same guy.
And this is from one of his channels, Raw Talk, Bradley Martyn's Raw Talk. he has Lilly Phillips on. No Lilly Phillips?
Oh, Lily.
You guys know
Lily.
No.
Hello, my name's Lily,
Oh,
and
the
I'm
one who
here to
slept with
have
like
sex
100.
with. That's how she talks, right? That's her accent?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I might be adding a little bit to it. I might be like doing it up too much.
That's
She
Lily.
slept with somehow. She fell asleep so many times in a day with
Fell
different guys.
Those numbers, I don't know. You know,
And,
just
but did she do a
logistically,
second number? Did she do a second thing?
I heard
She-
something about 1,000.
First of 100. Did she do 1,000?
I don't
Or
know
was
if
it somebody else?
That may have been somebody else.
Oh,
I
okay.
kind of try not to think about.
But there's
those
a
ladies
trend
anymore.
now of how many you can do in one day. Well, Lily
Which
Phillips
the numbers
did
don't make
100.
sense, man. Like the mathematics required.
Yeah.
Like even if you could like time even if it was like
Right.
even if each guy was like a minute. Sorry. Okay, maybe
Well,
a
it
minute.
depends. Maybe they're cheating. Maybe they're not. Maybe there's more than one at one time.
Well, even then, I was just trying to do a little math, and I'm saying, man, it just doesn't make
It's not
sense.
adding up.
No, I
It's
think
not
it
adding
was-
up.
Anyway.
I found a way that I could make money doing a hobby, doing something I enjoyed doing. So I thought, why not? Like that is the dream now. Like do something you love and never work a day in your life.
Yeah. I guess.
Like if you could make money, doing this, talking, gym content.
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
But for sure, I just think what that adds to society, like is if some guy's like, oh man, I want to better my life, I want to get in shape because I like whatever I see, or I want to eat healthier and better my body. This like we're talking about the same thing, but like one is very detrimental, and then one is like actually kind of aspirational.
I mean, I don't think of mine as detrimental. I'm doing charity work out here. I'm sure some of these guys haven't in
Yeah,
10,
but
20
like,
years.
But that's
so
like the.
I'm doing charity work.
But
Obviously, she's being sarcastic that she's doing charity
Little
work.
tongue-in-cheek.
But she, in this interview, and I don't want to pull all the clips, but she's basically like justifying, and she kind of justifies it in all these other things that she's doing, that she doesn't see it as wrong, and that. But she actually calls herself, she's like, I just don't think that deep on these things. I'm pretty stupid, as she even says herself. I'm pretty stupid. I just don't think these deep on these things. I don't care. But it doesn't take any brain power to know certain thing, right or wrong, right? Quote unquote. So she basically says it, but I noticed that she is just saying, I'm having fun and I'm just enjoying myself and this is just a hobby or whatever. And there's a rebellion in there that she enjoys, right? And that's fine. And I think what really is causing this, because she's going on everybody's show and everybody's wondering, like, asking her, like, why are you doing this? Like, you know that it's bad? And then she's playing the card of like, oh, well, it's not that serious. I don't think of it that deep. And it's like, she's trying to, has this happy thing. But I think it more comes down to, this is just my opinion, is that I think it more comes down to is that, like, it's because everyone keeps telling her, no, you can't do it, that is wrong. And in that judgment that she's probably feeling and possibly putting upon herself, right, whenever, is only fueling the evil within to want to do it more. It's like a rebellion thing. And then the reason why I bring that up too is because I feel like Red Pill has a part to play in that, is that there's also ladies who are just fed up with, like, the guys, doing it the way, the manly thing, but in this false way, that they're like, well, like, I don't care what you say. I'm going to do what you want. And she has the right to do what she wants. And she's not breaking any laws. She can sleep with 5,000 men if she wanted to. But it's just the fact to me that the men are saying, no, you can't do it. You better not do it. You're a slut. You're a whore that only wants to make somebody like that do it more.
It's interesting that it's legal because prostitution is illegal.
Oh, interesting.
But if you put a camera, somebody made the point, I've seen it on the internet, maybe in the live chat or something. You put a camera in there and all of a sudden it's schmornography. And it's
art.
And now it's fine. So it's kind of crazy. It's sort of, there's probably a way for politicians to be like, this is violating indecency laws. I don't know how you're going to enforce it because the internet is so crazy.
Yeah.
But they find ways to marginalize the whites and the Christians sometimes.
Yeah.
Certain whites, certain Christians. But
they're
but
not
those
in a
are more
rush to do that,
pinpoint,
yeah.
and even they are kind of hard to control.
Yeah.
But to your point about how she's rebelling. It's like it's escalating. The hatred between men and women is escalating higher and higher.
Yeah.
And mostly the men are making good points about the women. The women aren't really making good points about the men.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're kind of right about each other, but they're wrong for hating.
Right.
And everybody's doing this.
Yeah.
Like, when I say everybody, I mean a lot of people are doing what she's doing, meaning sleeping around on camera or whatever.
Right.
And so it's not just that they're telling her no, it's because she's saying, why not? And she's not thinking about the future of her life. She's just taking advantage of the money and the self-indulgence, you know?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, I already did. Go
No,
ahead.
no, but I just realized, I literally just realized that Lily is the perfect creation of our society. She's a perfect test tube creation, fully well adapted and ready for this world.
Yeah.
You understand?
Like a reflection.
Yeah. She's totally perfect. And to add to what you guys are saying in that,
good point.
In that, you know, that maybe she's being like, there's almost like a pushing factor from being told no. But I think a more accurate picture, because I think some of that is happening, but I think a more accurate picture, painted like this, these laws of prostitution and whatever that are really enforced, because this is the society that is being, this is how it is. This is perfect for the women. The women love it. It's positive for them, but the people want it too. Yeah. It's the world we want, the world we deserve in a sense. And what I'm trying to get at is that I think a more accurate picture would be, imagine Red Pill for a moment, overreacting to that. I think that's more accurate than you know, than like, I don't know, than like it's Lily's just being told no by men who have no right to tell her no. So it's like some of that.
Well, I mean, but that's what I mean.
But it's more like she's like a perfect. She's operating in this world that's built for her, in a sense. Right. It's made it.
Yeah.
Prostitution has been sanitized through technology. OnlyFans.
Like the red.
Now your daughters are like right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to get at. And the Red Pill's overreacting. They're wrong for the overreaction. But anyways.
So you don't think that she feels that at all? You don't think that she feels the little jabs at the Red Pill community? She's more so in her own bubble in her own world because she's being celebrated and almost glorified.
I've seen the Red Pill stuff, even in all its faults, have what we could call maybe even a fault, in the same way we call faulty but good Red Pill. But women have had a sort of weird reaction to that. Not always bad. Sometimes like, okay, fine, I do want to get married, and they'll do it weird too, and there's all sorts of things there. But what do you think about that? Is that I've gotten some of that impression. Do you guys get that same impression that the Red Pill in his faults has had? Even women are kind of trying to see. They're not all like going crazy in a sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like the pendulum swinging.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it.
Like
it's a pendulum.
Yeah, because like there's a
stupid pendulum.
This is the feminism has gone so crazy.
Yeah,
and this is a reaction to it.
Yeah,
and it's causing them to go crazier, and it's causing some of the men to go crazier because there's always some escalation stuff and action reaction.
That's so true. Like it does have this I'm gonna yell at you, but now I'm gonna yell louder. Right. But then it's like, well, I'm gonna figure out how to get even louder than you are.
I'm gonna sleep with 100 men.
Right. So it's this constant, like, instead of like,
women have no rights.
This, like,
1,000 men.
Love that is like accepting to both perspectives, right? Whether they're wrong or right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that like, that's what I feel like people are reacting to. Red Pill and Blue Pill. They're just reacting to each other. And all they do is keep going further and further and further to the extreme. Because one is saying that like, you're like, this is not proper, which is true, right? They're not wrong.
Yeah.
But there's no love. The other one's saying that you don't get to talk to me like that. I could do what I want, which is true too. But there's hate.
Right.
So it's like, Lily has the right to do what she wants, right? But everybody keeps telling her that she doesn't. And that nature in all people, but especially in women, is oftentimes normally would just submit to that pressure. But nowadays it's amplified to like fight back. So what I think is happening, and I could be wrong, is I think that she is feeling this noise from the red pill, feeling this noise from like maybe family and friends, like, okay, you're going too far with it. And in her mind, she's saying, probably thinking like, that's probably true. This is probably a bit much, but I have the right to do this. And until people understand that, I'm going to do what I want, and you guys are going to have to deal with it.
I think
she's ahead of the curve is what she is.
Right.
She's ahead of the curve on evil.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask
She's
you.
ahead of the curve. And
Yeah.
But that's what I'm trying to get at. It's like, yeah, overreacting the red pill, but I'd say it's like, we want this. Even the red pill guys want this. Even though it's like, that's degenerate. Even the guys are like, I'm a Catholic, never degeneracy guys. They want this.
Yeah.
They can point.
They want this society, either if it's a thrill or if they're hiding and they're love the lust and they're all into their lust or whatever it is. We want this society.
Yeah.
Lily Phillips is a perfect creation.
You know, go ahead.
I feel like her, the way she turned out is a lot closer to home than a reaction to either feminism or the red pill guys or whatever. Like it's her upbringing.
Yeah.
Her parents, what her environment was like growing up, because
her mom is her financial person.
Yeah, see?
So they're working with the business.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's like how you turn out and the way you don't really think about things, but the symptoms of evil that manifest in your life is stuff that you don't think much about it because you just kind of unnaturally got twisted in that way.
Yeah.
This may not be a temptation for a girl who wants to be like a housewife, but that girl who wants to be a housewife is messed up in ways by her parents, and it's just the evil is just cropping up in all kinds of different ways.
You know what's so interesting to me is that like I just like I think that these things would just fall away if people never made one big deal about it ever, like, because it's always the self-thought mostly that does the most has the most effect on us. Because of course everybody at the end of the day is wondering, am I doing the right thing or am I doing the wrong thing, right? And so she has her own battle with the thoughts. But then on top of it, when the world is telling her all these things, I think like what you're saying, she's ahead of the curve in knowing how, even saying that she's stupid, she's not, because she knows that she can do what she wants and no one can tell her anything. And not only that, she's gotten clout from being that way, right? And this is her world, so she's just living in it and she's stomping and everybody is just like, you're crazy, you're da 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 da. But all that is doing to me is feeding that nature within her that says, I can do what I want. And she's not wrong. She can do what she wants.
You're right, man. That's the world we want. Yeah,
that's the world.
I'm following you.
And everybody else
we
is
want
just
this.
Like trying to shoot her down this. She's just giant, how I picture her in my mind. She's just giant walking around and everybody's trying to shoot her down, right? But all those bullets are doing is just making her even bigger and stronger. Because in her mind, she's just saying, you guys are wrong because I can do what I want, and you're trying to tell me I can't. And she knows that, and that's fine. But if there were anybody along the way, like her parents, that were just like or whatever, that just maybe let it be, or didn't judge her, or loved her, or understood the situation, and she had enough people around her that way, this would have been a phase that passed to me. If she was never judged, this would have. If she was never judged, this wouldn't have got to 100 men, or would have.
Yeah.
But it's just being fueled by red pill and all this stuff. So it's that constant weird battle, it seems, that's going on.
True.
What the?
That's just like a look at that. Will you look at that? That's crazy. Well, just a wild number.
Yeah.
But everybody else is no better than her. Like everybody else is just evil, nasty.
You know, that's true. And I like that. Also what Nick was saying about that too is that like in all reality, this is what women who wanted to be this way have always wanted to be if they had that same type of sentiment that she has, right? They all wanted to be like that, but they're afraid to do it because they would be called a slut or whatever the case is. And what Lily is saying, and I'm not justifying it at all, but what Lily is doing is basically saying, I don't care, I'm doing what I want. So this is not new. This was already in people's females' minds of what they wanted to do. Lily just now has a time where she gets to showcase it and be an example to all these other girls who also want to do the same thing. But this has been the case. Like, the women have been thinking this. They've been wanting to wonder about certain things. And it mainly, I think, has to go back to guys doing it, guys having a bunch of women, and now women think, like, you could disrespect me. Well, guess what? I could disrespect you. And it developed this weird thing. But this has been happening way before it even actually was happening. Do you guys agree? Or
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like this is basically just a semi-clever, I guess, publicity stunt.
Yeah.
And it got a lot of publicity. I feel like I heard about it from a bunch of different sources.
Yeah.
And I never even got interested to even look into this story or cover it or anything.
Yeah.
But
that's a good point.
but
Yes, let's say new.
I know that's what
right.
So
and
say
the people who like them isn't new either.
I just feel like the Red Pill, they're the ones saying, like, I really feel like society's just like, that's fine, Lily, that's fine. Red Pill's the only ones really who came around and said, that's not fine. And but then you look at the Red Pill guys, they're like, well, that's a ragtag bunch. They got problems themselves.
Right.
But on this, it's like, they're really the only ones who started, like, in my generation, like me growing up and all that.
I forget where I heard somebody said.
Someone was saying, no, you can't wear that. Like, those, like, just stuff like that. Like, that was like gone. That's not something that existed in my world.
Yeah. No, you can't wear that. Wait, meaning that when you...
In that, like, there was no response to the woman.
Oh.
There was no talk at all. Like, that was not even in my mind.
Like, they were allowed to wear it.
And that was even a thing to question, I guess.
Oh, that it was wrong that they were dressing the way they wanted to dress?
Sure, that's one aspect.
Oh, interesting.
But to summarize the Red Pill response, what am I talking about again?
Yeah. But more the Red Pill response. But no, I realized, too, and let me know what you guys think, is, guys were doing this. Guys been known to do this, right? Not as probably like...
sleep around, you mean?
Yeah, sleep around.
Yeah.
Guys been sleeping around for a long time. Guys been known to have a bunch of women at one time. And it was also off and improper, but eventually over time, society accepted it and it became more normalized, right?
And sometimes they bragged about it.
Exactly.
Congratulate them.
Right. And the women were also like low key upset about it. There was no podcast and stuff to be like, oh, we don't like this, but they were like suffering in silence, to them. And but now that the women have been fed up and now they're like, well, we can do it too. That's really what it comes down to. It's like, okay, well, we can do it too. Why can't I do what I want to too? And they do it. But what I'm wondering too is that why are like us men in general, all guys in general, ever mad about like saying like, well, you guys are doing all this stuff, but we've been doing it and I'm not saying like individuals, but as a guy, we've been doing that for a way longer time. So it's like, I find it interesting with the Red Pill is that like, okay, well, let's take a little bit, and I even speak for myself. I don't do this too. Like, take responsibility for the fact that, well, hold on, we kind of set the bar a little bit as well. Do you guys?
They may have gone too far in some respects, but you're also touching on something that women like. It's
What
like,
do you mean?
It's like, man, but men out here, they've been getting women. It's like, That's what women want men to do.
They want to play like they're men now. They want to play like they're men now, and they don't realize that the men didn't get away with it, and even less so will the women getting away with it. Really.
Well, what I'm saying though too, what I'm really saying though is that why red pill is like guys are now acting like we're surprised or like mad, right? Like you why are you being a slut? But it's like, I would
never get mad at right. Oh, okay, yeah, no,
you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. Like, or we're shocked that like, oh, this behavior is despicable. But
I don't know. I grew up a little maybe differently.
How do you mean?
And that I didn't know if I quite saw all that. I may have heard about that.
Yeah.
The player, like, man, just macho, terrible guy, just player. But
well, I
guess I seen that. I seen that.
Maybe it's no, LA. So maybe I've known high school, especially for me, was that if you didn't do stuff, if you didn't have no experience, you were a punk. You were a simp. Even since high school. And simp has been around for, maybe that wasn't the word. I don't know what they called it then. But like you were almost like a disgrace to society in my high school if you did not have experience, or if you didn't talk to the girls, or if you looked weak around the girls. That's in my world growing up.
But
I'm familiar with what you're talking about.
I remember being shocked when I guess maybe junior year, they were my fellow juniors and some of the seniors were talking about going to the prom, and possibly one talked about possibly having sex.
Yeah.
And my friend is like, well, if it were prom, I would consider it. I was like, because it was like shock. And I heard about some of the parties where a girlfriend would do something with another guy.
Yeah.
That was like shocking to me. I was like, whoa, really?
Really? But it wasn't.
And so I didn't think that they really had sex and slept around like that much. Like I didn't really hear about it.
Yeah. That's interesting.
And then later you heard about it. But I grew up Christian, but the people around me weren't. They were somewhat Christian. But
but that's also like a different time too, because high school, it was just so different for me because it wasn't like a shock. I always knew that even when I was in junior high, that people were doing stuff.
Dang.
But the thing is, my younger siblings who are 10 years younger than me, the generation next, they were already doing things in junior high.
Yep.
I just heard about them, that people would do stuff.
Yeah.
But I never seen or ever knew but in junior high now they're doing stuff. So
when I left my school, they were doing hard drugs and stuff that I had only heard about later.
Yeah, I did hear some things later about this or that guy would get in trouble for like getting kind of more than what the woman wanted in public, or the drugs and stuff.
Yeah.
The marijuana and things.
That's interesting.
Junior hires, 6th graders.
Yeah.
But those are like the bad kids when the bad kids came over to our school.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. But I guess the point about that I wanted to make is that like guys have always been the ones in that position that the girls are now in.
Yeah.
But it almost,
and the girls couldn't do that without guys there to turn them into sluts.
To do exactly. Yeah. And so we can't like, when the red pill comes in and then it's like, you guys are sluts. Well, it's like, how mad could you be at a standard that isn't brand new? This is not a behavior that's brand new. You've been doing it, but it's maybe more unattractive when you see a lady who's supposed to be feminine do it. It's probably more off-putting to see that.
Yeah.
But it's like, we can't be shocked. Or we can't be mad
it's like
about
getting
that.
mad at someone. It's like getting mad at someone for taking advantage of a deal. It's like, well, you're going to get those bananas at that low price. Right. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like I'll never get mad at Lily. I'll never, like I said, she's perfect.
Yeah.
She's perfect. She's exactly what we deserve. She's the wife.
Not my wife.
Not us individually.
It's not mine.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't care.
It's like, anyways.
That's her life that she's messing
right.
up. I forget where I heard it, but there was some woman kind of bragging about we women are powerful. We have like a hypnotic power over men. And I've heard that before
Yeah.
too from men saying that about the like hypnotic power. I forget if that was the word.
Yeah.
But it's true.
Yeah, it's very true.
And it's worse
Yeah.
today because men have kind of given themselves over to that.
Yeah.
And the women have abandoned all shame.
Yeah.
It used to be like, I remember in the 90s, he mentioned you can't wear that.
Mm-hmm.
In junior high, they're like, no showing your midriff. Which I'd never even known what a midriff was, but basically like they had pants and then they had a shirt that was like a crop top. Like it didn't cover their belly button. And you couldn't do that. But once you have rules like that, it's because the women and the girls are so far gone that they want to do that.
Yeah.
In the back in the day, they didn't even want to dress like that.
Yeah.
But now they do.
That's true.
Because everything has gone so crazy.
Yeah. But now they have a pass.
And some people want to blame certain people for that. But
yeah,
it's how society goes.
It's how society goes. But it's all like we were talking about anger.
Yeah.
But
no, nothing. It's just I forgot what I was gonna say.
She's in a world where there's no judgment. It's so It's such a community.
Right.
But it's not.
Yeah.
That's how the world is.
Yeah.
Men didn't do that.
Yeah.
Red Pill didn't do that.
True.
And I don't really want to defend Red Pill. Like
Yeah.
I feel like you. They don't get it.
Yeah.
But Lily. Anyways.
You can't
Anyways, do another
can't
Lily
blame
impression. That's cute.
Lily. Hello, boys.
heard
I'm
that
delectable. I'm here to have sex with you.
I've heard that
I'm going to eat you up.
Russell Brand.
So that was her.
That was Lily. I might be exaggerating a little bit.
I
don't think that's exactly her accent.
You asked a legitimate question though, because one is like good for you, health, exercise.
That was
whatever.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
And you can get carried away with that, of course. But then
Yeah.
she's doing something that's like has no value.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that's her life that she's living.
Yeah.
And we can have our opinions about it too. But it's like she is not breaking any laws that we know of.
Right.
And
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Because we allowed this. Anything
Yeah.
that's happening in society has allowed.
Got it. Yeah.
And
100%.
that's us.
And even if
With
it is
Lily's
breaking
happening-
laws, the society wants those
Right.
laws broken.
Yeah.
Like marijuana.
Right.
Yeah.
If we can have
That's
our moral
true.
thing
The
about
people.
it, and we may even
Yeah.
be right, but society has allowed this, and maybe
yeah.
a society tomorrow may not allow this. But that
Yeah.
would be the difference between those two societies.
Yeah.
It's
That's
simply what they allow.
that's it.
And it
So-
wouldn't be much difference, honestly.
Really, it really wouldn't. You guys were cutting the wheat from the chaff. It can't be red pill, blue pill. It's got to be something else.
Yeah.
Anger.
Yeah.
I think we're getting closer.
Interesting.
Shout out. She has a stronger tan than I realized. I don't know if I'd ever seen her before. I'd heard her on Anchor Baby, and maybe heard her. Did JLP cover her before? Maybe.
I don't know.
I think he might.
She's got that classic like British pancake face. Like what is that?
Yeah, with a long weird nose.
With that like just circle of a face, and it's like what's that?
Plain Jane.
What's that? Claymation like British thing, like Chicken Run and all that.
Okay.
Isn't that a
Funny.
British thing?
Maybe.
She looks like those people. She looks like that kind of British.
I'm cutting. We're not keeping this. We're not keeping this. Last thing is, you guys see Shia LaBeouf has a new movie coming out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he did a red carpet appearance that he hasn't done in the past 4 years. I guess he's on a red carpet. He looked kind of healthy, kind of looking like he's in a better. I could be. Listen, he has blonde hair though. But
Natural?
No, like dye, but like yeah. I'll pull up a picture real quick, and then we'll end. We got a couple minutes here. Shia, but
Field trip.
he looked like he got a little weight on him, and this is
Like strength weight?
like for whatever movie, just probably for the
Oh, okay.
movie, but like healthy weight though.
Okay.
But this is 3 years post what we were talking about.
Yeah.
So anything could have happened in that 3 years. It could have been bad, good, but here's the Shia LaBeouf red carpet. Let's see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, because you made it sound like he had retired from
Because he's like, I don't
From
want to
it.
do movies anymore.
Yeah.
So
The Lord called him back.
He may be back at it.
You could be born again within 3 years.
Possible.
I've heard of shorter times on the forums.
Yeah.
In the born again forums.
Let's see. Can you guys see? Oh no, you can't see.
And relapsed.
Dang.
And then born again.
That's a different thread.
But here we go.
Oh, that's
who does he look like? He looks like
he's looking a little bit more like a man now.
Yeah, more manlier.
He's so boyish looking. It's hard to take him seriously.
Yeah, that's more manly looking.
You're typecasting him. You're typecasting his genes. You're typecasting his biology, bro.
His physiognomy is that of a child.
Yeah, it's like
is a punk child.
Yeah,
I just don't like him.
Yeah. They love him.
You're typecasting his genetics.
Jesse loves what you kept saying. I don't like him. He's still laughing.
Who does he look like? He looks like that guy who played. He was in Budapest Hotel. Tall guy.
I don't know.
Beard.
I haven't seen it. But you know what he looks like
Bloom?
also?
No,
he looks like living the American dream. Matt living the dream.
Yeah.
True. He totally looks like Matt living the dream because Matt living the dream got fit, and that's what he looks like.
Yeah, he looks a little. He looks healthy here.
Matt living the dream got fit.
Yeah.
So that's nice. I think. Well, I'm gonna check. The movie looks pretty good. I forgot what it's called, but it's a boxing movie. I think he's like the coach or something.
Okay.
So
he looks somewhat like the Gladiator from the 2000s.
Yeah, and some of these other ones, you could tell like I don't know, they just have he has a different look about him.
Yeah, true.
I don't know if it's immature or more like childish or what, but
pretty boy.
I was gonna say he looked like Jeff Goldblum, but maybe not. Upon looking at him.
Yeah, a little like a mixture of Jeff Goldblum and oh man, that's terrible.
Yeah, let me take that one off. Let me save his
Adrian Brody.
Save him.
And who's the guy who was Gladiator? I've just blanked on it.
Is it Russell Crowe?
Yeah, Russell Crowe.
It's some Fury.
Do you guys see the new Gladiator?
I haven't, but he did, right?
No, I didn't see it. I wanted to, but I didn't end up seeing it.
I heard it was. I forget whether I heard if it was all right.
Actually, yeah, I heard it was decent. Yeah, I think Hassan went to see it. He said it was pretty good.
Yeah, just before you came on our show.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, at least it looks like he's doing good.
Yeah,
seemingly. This is an old picture, but
you know, when you were showing me him before, I didn't necessarily think he was doing bad.
Yeah, well, you're right.
I try not to think. I realize I don't really think about people like.
Yeah, he was just in the.
Yeah, it's just by the way the only reason I have any impression of him is by the way that he talks about himself.
Mm.
And he talked about getting into drugs and stuff.
Right.
And then also that he's all like down and serious and talking about, oh, I hope you suffer and wake up.
You didn't like that. That was off-putting.
No, it's not that. It's just that you could tell that he was going through something.
Yeah.
And I can't really say whether he's waking up or not.
Yeah.
But also, like, if he's not being clear, the reason I had said I think he should be quiet in case it wasn't clear is that sometimes when you think you're seeing something, it's best not to share it.
Yeah, just leave it.
Because you'll lose it.
Yeah,
or you'll say something and somebody will not get it.
Yeah.
And then that'll throw you off and it'll be like...
Yeah, just wait.
It's just pride sharing that.
Let it
no, that was clear.
Excitement.
Yeah. Well, he's here. He's looking,
and your hatred of him was clear too.
Indeed. Nice.
And your absolute disgust.
Yeah. I just despise him. Probably because I'm like him. A little bit.
Yeah. That's why
All right, well.
That's why I was trying to be easy on him.
Nice. Because he's like me?
Because he's like me.
Oh. That's funny.
All right, guys. That's it. My last question.
How do we end the thing?
Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Hit the button over here. Subscribe over there. Ring the bell over.
I'm not doing all that editing with all this. That's not gonna pop up over there.
Ain't nothing popping up. And the people like, where? Just hit the button. Y'all know what to do. Bye.
But you didn't say to Punchie TV, but I'll put that up. Punchie TV.
I ain't know I was supposed to say that.
You subscribe to Punchie TV.
Oh.
But that's fine.
But they know they're looking at Punchie.
I know, it's fine. It's fine.
We'll put that in. Put that in the edit. That part, that little conversation.
Yeah, put that in there.
This is the song that doesn't end. Oh no. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend.
MRH. Well, that was
Mary Rice Hopkins.
her. That wasn't necessarily her, but
Right.
shout out.
Similar.
It's funny how you knew exactly who I was thinking of.
Right.
Who else is MRH though? Let's be real.
Beautiful Mary Rice Hopkins. I wonder if I can play her stuff without getting taken down from Spotify.